So I'm making a video on how to change the world.
Okay.
So what do you think I should say?
How to change the world? In what way you want to change the world?
No,
what
I
do you
mean,
think? What do you think? In what situation is the world in a bad?
I mean, I don't feel
Average.
like I don't feel like, you know, it's great, but I also feel like at the end of the day, it's like, if you look at it currently as we speak, everyone is so focused on, you know, people with more power, like the presidents and those type of people. You know, we leaving our entire life in their hands, expecting them to go out there and, you know, change it for us. Like, we feel like they're going to change the currency, they're going to change the economical situation. We feel like they're going to give us homes, they're going to go out there and put food on the table, you know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, what we should actually think about is we are the president of our own bank accounts.
Yeah.
We are the president of our own life.
Yeah.
We can only dictate, you know, what we can do. We can only control what's in our hands, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what I feel. So, and a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people, and you know, how long have you guys been living in this area for?
I've been living here 47 years.
So 47 years, so you've seen it all. I mean, you've seen all these boats, and you've seen, you know, everything pop up and obviously disappear and vanish. You've also seen, you know, like you're so close to Camps Bay, Clifton, everything.
Are they in advance?
Yeah, exactly. Because this used to be the Camps Bay and Clifton once upon a time, right?
Yeah.
So like you can just see that if people don't adapt and innovate as fast as possible, what starts to happen is, you know, you get left behind.
Yeah.
Because you're either rich or you're poor. There's no mediocrity anymore. That middle line has changed. So it's like, for me, it's like, in order for us to change the world, we need to start changing ourselves. Because
Man in the mirror.
love that. So once you start thinking, you know, more positively, and once you start thinking bigger and start living, like, why do you want to think about a Toyota when you can think about a Ferrari? You know what I mean? Why do you want to think about a boat when you can start thinking of a yacht? And then what starts to happen is, if you start thinking much better, you start
acting better.
Exactly, and you also start attracting the right type of, you know, people and energy. And then what starts to happen is, then we eventually change the group we're associating ourselves with. Like so if you start thinking more positive,
It's like the song. If you change yourself, you can change another person. That person can change a group can change a nation, a nation can change
exactly.
the
So
universe.
if you start thinking more positively and you hang out with her, automatically she starts thinking more positively, and then you guys feed off each other's energy, because one day you're going to be negative and she's going to be positive, and you guys can just
clash.
exactly. But sometimes, you know, you can feed off her energy, you can get excited about, you know, life because she's excited. If you see her winning and she buys a new car, or she buys a new home, or she builds something new,
to get there.
exactly my point. So then when you start changing ourselves, what starts to happen is, eventually you start changing the city you're from, then you start changing the country you're from, and the country changes the continent changes the world. Because think about it, right now I fly around the world. I've maybe been on like 142 holidays on 600 flights in the past 6 years. And every time I take my South African passport and I put it on the table at passport control, they look at the passport and most people laugh, because they look at South Africa and they're like, okay, cool, it's because of your president, or it's because of your, you know, the economical situation, or the currency exchange between the rand and the dollar right now. And they look at that, and, you know, the inflation. Like, once upon a time, when I looked at it, a bottle of water was 5 rand. And today a bottle of water is like 10 rand. Remember the days where a can of Coke was 2 rand 50? You remember those days?
Yeah.
And now it's like what? 6 rand, 7 rand?
Yeah.
No.
10 rand.
10 rand.
10 rand. So if you don't adapt, like if you don't start increasing your paycheck, if you don't start changing your environment, you can't change everything else.
Exactly.
So, you know, at the end of the day,
Same as your life.
exactly.
You don't change your life for the better.
So we were talking about, you know, rich and then poor. There's no more mediocrity. There's no more that, you know, that gap where you can distinguish the difference between rich and poor. You know what I mean? So today it's like,
I can only dream about some things, about most things.
yeah. So like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you see all these yachts, you live in this environment. I don't. I mean, I fly around the world, so I see people from different environments, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, what keeps you so excited about life? What keeps you so motivated? Because, I mean, you're not living in the best life you would love to live. I'm sure I'm not living the best life that I would love to live. That's why I'm working hard.
I would rather do your job. Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously my job is just traveling the world and having fun. I mean, but, you know, as we speak, what keeps you going? Because most people in this environment right now, they would have quit. Mentally, they would have been taken out the game.
Because of the economic system.
Yeah. Also, because you're seeing other people that are successful that come out here and enjoy the beach and enjoy this, like foreigners. They come out here, they enjoy the environment, but you live in this environment, and you know, sometimes we don't appreciate it as much as you guys do. But you know, what keeps you more excited? What keeps you going every single day?
What keeps me going? Most of the time, my kids. And
how many kids do you have?
I got 8 kids.
So 8 kids. If you don't mind me asking you, what's your average income per month?
Sure.
We live by the day.
We live, well, let me put it this way. We live from the hand to the mouth. We got no savings account. We got no, actually, let me put it this way. We haven't got a fixed income.
So 100 Rand, that's plus minus $7.
Yeah.
So you get paid, like you would get paid $7 a day on average.
On average.
Okay, so
So
if you're lucky, $7 a day, and then you take that, you don't get the $7, you take the fish, so you feed your family.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. As we speak right now, what if today it's pouring of rain and no one goes out and fishes? No one fished today and no one goes out and catch fish. No.
How do we make ends meet?
Exactly. What's your plan B?
Yeah. Okay, there's sometimes that people got production, fish and stuff. You got the product, I've got the client.
Okay.
Well, then we just hook up the two, like I'm the middleman, and I make myself a rand on the, or 50 cents on the.
So 50 cents. I'm trying to convert this because, you know, a lot of my people that follow me on social media, they earn, you know, dollars. So 50 cents.
Is not even.
No, I mean, literally today 12 Rand is $1. So 50 cents is nowhere close to a quarter. So ever been in a situation where you haven't eaten for the day?
Yeah, sometimes. But today, it's like that. Qualifications start paying for me.
So you study for 3 years, and when you study for 3 years, it's like, how do you feel that, you know, you've paid a price for education and the education has not paid you? Because, you know, honestly speaking, people think when you get an education, you're guaranteed to get a job. That's what they think.
No.
Like, let's be real. You guys are obviously cleaning fish and cutting fish and stuff, right? You never studied to become a clean fisher. You know what I mean?
No way.
You didn't study that. That's just, you know, something you have to do. Exactly. Something you have to do to put food on the table. So it's like, there's people out right now in the real world, in the Camps Bay life, in the Clifton life, they studied to become a doctor. They studied to become a lawyer. They studied to become an accountant. And then when they get the job, they don't make that type of income in the first few months or years. You know what I mean? They get pissed off because they spend 50,000 Rand a year on education, 200,000 Rand to get a degree. That's 4 years later. And after 4 years, you're not making that type of money because now it takes you like 6 to 10 years to pay off your degree before you even put food on the table. So for me, it was like, I'll be very honest with you, I have no educational besides matric certificate. I only went to grade 0 to grade 12. Nothing. So I already came from a background where my dad owned some companies, like 5 companies. So I came from a background where I could see the money.
Yeah.
And then in 2012, we lost everything. Everything. Everything, to the point where I remember clearly the sheriff was showing up at our home. You know the sheriff, right?
Yeah,
Sheriff was knocking the door and saying, we're about to evict you from your home. School fees weren't paid on time. We're about to kick you out of school. Cars are about to get repoed. So I remember, and we need to find a way to supplement that income. So very similar to the situation that you could be in, but the only difference is I saw money. So I knew that life was possible.
Okay.
And that's where we're going back to, like, me saying, you know, that's where we're going back to me saying, we're going to change ourselves first before we even change the world. You need to know before you want to become an accountant, before you want to become a doctor, before you want to become a lawyer, before you want to make $1 million, you need to know and understand you are worth $1 million.
Yeah,
Of course.
Because if you don't feel like you're not worth $1 million, then you're selling your services for 50 cents a day. You're selling your services for what, 5 Rand a day, for 10 Rand a day, for 100 Rand a day. What if, you know, I told you back then, I made the type of money that you're making right now. I made it once upon a time, but today I'm making way over 7 figures a month.
lucky you. But you motivated yourself in order to.
100%. My parents are divorced since I've been 2 years old. I could have counted myself out from day one. My dad lived with my sister. My mom stayed with me, and then when I stayed with my dad, my sister stayed with my mom, and we weren't living in the same household. You guys have kids? You got 8. You? 9 kids. 8 kids. 10 kids. You're lying.
Don't lie.
Goodness.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nie hoeveel as jy in hoeveel kinders het jy?
Oh, me, how many children? 6.
You got 6. So you got 8. You got 9. That's 17.
I got 8.
You got 8. 6. So it's literally 13 plus 17. You got 30 kids between the 4 of you guys.
What about grandkids?
Grandchildren as well. So now,
I've got 10 grandchildren.
10 grandchildren.
Yes.
I got 4.
And I'm 50 years old.
It's crazy, eh?
And we all struggle about the earning and some fish. We got nothing to prepare us to.
Yeah, but have you done something about that? Have you? I know you like working, and you know you're putting food on the table. But have you done something about it? Like, have you tried getting a job or something? Because
Yes.
I mean, because let's be real. There's more people getting retrenched every single day, and it's not the people like you guys that are getting retrenched. It's the people who have the qualifications.
Yeah, it's all about that.
So the doctors and the lawyers are getting retrenched today. It's like, you know, there's more people that got retrenched this year than the last 5 years combined. More people getting fired, more people taking a pay cut right now than the last 5 years combined.
The good thing about educated people, people with degrees, they don't need to work for a boss. They don't need to work for a boss.
Well, okay, that could be right and could be wrong, because you could say that they don't need to work for a boss, but I feel like people with qualifications and degrees don't have the guts and the risk. They don't have the risk. They're not risk takers to take the money and invest. They want to play it safe.
Yeah.
She's very
I know
scarce,
that.
my dear.
I know that, but I'm just saying. That's why we were just talking before you guys came here. We said that in order for you to become successful and change the world, you need to change yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for me to give you, it's easy for me to teach you, give you fish right now. But I want to teach you how to fish so you can feed your 10 kids.
Yeah.
How you can feed the 40 kids between the 4 of you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember something, there's people that pay to come to see this environment. They fly across the world to see this environment. This is your baby, this is your environment.
Yeah. They're paying you.
You can make money off this environment.
Exactly.
The moral of the story, they don't want to take food, although I'm giving them food. They want to give it back to their kids. So I'm going to give them a little bit of something, some monetary value here. They can go shop, do whatever they want to do. And for me to know that the more I give, the more I'll receive. What are you giving today? Let's go. So the queue is too long to buy food. And I know you guys wanted some money and stuff, so I'm gonna give you, and you guys can split it amongst the 4 of you guys. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you guys for everything. And thank you. God bless. Work hard.
And thank you for the motivational speech.
Only a pleasure. Remember, you gotta work hard. As much as you work hard, you gotta think positive.
Yeah.
The money that I just gave you right now, don't use it for the wrong things. You know what to do. You know what to do with it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But just know that God's watching, so you want to do it the right way. Okay, go keep feeding your kids, and don't get your kids to make the same mistakes you made.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you. Thank you.